Most health coaches think they don't have clients because they need more content, more followers, or more certification, but that's not the real problem. The real problem is you're solving the wrong problem in your business. And until you fix this one thing, you will stay stuck no matter how hard you work. As a medical doctor of over 25 years and someone who spent nearly 10 years and over $100,000 trying to figure this out, I can tell you this. Most coaches are working hard, but they're not working on the thing that actually moves the needle. And that's why they burn out. Burnout doesn't come from doing too much, it comes from doing the wrong things over and over again. That's exhausting, that's frustrating, and that's what makes so many talented coaches quit. And if you're realizing right now that you might be working hard but not seeing results, I actually have a free copy of my book, Six Figure Health Coach. And inside, I break down the exact system we use to help coaches go from zero clients to a sustainable six-figure practice without burnout. You can grab a copy in the link in the description. All right, let's dive into this and walk you through what's actually going on. Number one is the constraint principle. Every business has one bottleneck, not 10, one. And your growth comes from fixing that bottleneck, not doing more things. But most coaches guess instead of diagnosing. Time spent not on the constraint, the weak link in your business, wastes your time and money and leads to inevitable burnout. For example, if you don't have leads, that's a marketing problem. If you have leads but no clients, that's a sales problem. If you have clients but feel overwhelmed, that's a delivery problem. But if you don't know which one it is, you end up trying to fix everything all at once. And that's where burnout begins. So ask yourself, do I have enough people seeing my content? Are people reaching out or booking calls? Am I converting those calls into clients? Your answers will show you exactly where your real problem is. And then next, let's look at the structure of your business, your client flow system. Your business is actually very simple. It's just a flow from awareness, people who find out about you. Nobody can become your client without first becoming aware of you. That leads to leads. A lead is somebody who raises their hand and says, I need that, which leads to a call, which leads to a client, which leads to results. And at some point in that flow, you are dropping people. I call this whole process carrying eggs because it's very delicate process. So no awareness, no leads. No leads, no calls. No calls, no clients. So instead of trying to fix everything, ask, where is my process, my system, my flow breaking down? Then fix that one thing. Just keep going up to the very top, and the first point at which you have a stoppage in flow, that's where you want to focus your attention. So if you don't have a system or a structure or a flow, and you're wondering how we help our health coaches at the Health Professional Academy structure their business so that they have a scalable, soul-satisfying system that leads to six figures and beyond without burning out, just visit drshaunna.com. We can have a chat or invite you to one of our small group training sessions that we do, where we dive deeper and see what is the constraint in your business and share some strategies to fix that. We've just started doing these sessions and they're really great. So you can check that out. So the third thing is time. And time, that's a big one. Most people think, I just don't have time to build a business, but that's not actually true. The truth is, you don't need more time. You need better use of the time you already have. So everyone has 168 hours per week. We can't get more of it in a week. None of us can. I can't, you can't. But when you do a time audit of those 160 hours and you break it down and see where it's going, see where you're spending your time, you'll see that there is time. It's just not being used intentionally. We have the 5-hour rule that we teach our clients. You can build a business in as little as 5 to 10 hours a week if you are focused in following a proven path. And the reality is, the average person spends about 2.5 hours a day on social media. That's 17.5 hours per week, over a month, a year. So reallocate a portion of that, and you do have time to build your business. So the time is there. It's just a matter of redirecting it. So do this today. Audit your time and find those 5 hours to focus on your business. Block it as a non-negotiable. I teach my clients to set their hours of operation like a surgeon, non-negotiable. They scrub in to their work and then they scrub out. And this is where everything changes because if it's not scheduled, it doesn't happen. So stop saying I'll work on my business when I have time and start saying this is when I work on my business. Stop saying my hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, but then going to Pilates or lunch with the girls during those hours when you're supposed to be scrubbed in. Instead, start saying my hours are 10 to 2, Tuesday to Thursday, and I can do Pilates at 8 a.m., dinner with friends at 5 p.m., and laundry on Saturday. So choose your 5 hours a week, same time every week, block it in your calendar, and that's how businesses are built. This all comes down to focus, which is one of the powerful principles I teach and is behind every single successful health coach. So, focus, Les Hewitt says, stands for follow one course until successful. And the truth is, more strategies just creates more confusion, more courses, more delay. So you don't need more information. You need more focus and follow through and execution on the one strategy. So this week, identify your one constraint and focus only on that in your dedicated hours of operation until we have resolved that constraint. You can do this, but you want to guard your focus like it's a suitcase with $1 million. Because if you have your focus, you can always create another $1 million. But without your focus, you cannot keep your $1 million. You can do this, but it requires focus and clarity. My saying is clarity is prosperity. There was a time in my life where I was working long hours, 100 hours a week at the hospital, raising 4 little kids at the same time, and still building my health coaching business on the side. I didn't have more time. I didn't have time, but I didn't have time to waste. I was forced to get crystal clear on what I needed to do and find a time on the calendar for what mattered. And if my business mattered, it needed to have a dedicated time on my calendar. If my family mattered, they need a dedicated, not a multitasking time, but dedicated time. And I still needed my doctor job to pay the bills. But if creating a successful, soul satisfying practice, doing work that you know you were meant to do so that you can break free and work with who you want, when you want, from where you want, if that's a desire of yours, like it was for me, it does require focus, but I gotta tell you, it is so worth going after. To live into your purpose driven work, create greater impact and income, that freedom is worth going after. But it does not happen by default. So if you're feeling stuck right now, it's not because you're not capable, it's because you're spending time focused on the wrong thing. So come back to this, find the constraint. Fix that one thing. Protect your time. Stay focused. That's how it works. And in the next video, I'll show you exactly how to get your first 5 clients as a health coach step by step. Be good for you.